If this morning's guest and his two friends didn't have $2.71 in their pockets, then we wouldn't have had a 50-year pictorial of Myrtle Beach. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the design center of the Stone Temple in the industrial park behind Myrtle Beach Lighting. We're focused on the Myrtle Beach area, and we're visiting with its unofficial historian, Dr. Jack Thompson. Good morning, Jack.
My pleasure.
How long? That's right. And now, how long have you been Dr. Jack Thompson?
Oh, I think a year now.
Right at a year. That's right.
The May celebration, graduation at Coastal Carolina,
That's
where
exact. They bestowed on you the honorary doctorate.
Bestowed on me the honorary doctorate, Master of the Arts.
Isn't that amazing, Jack? Isn't that amazing?
It was really unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And, I might tell you a cute story.
Please, yeah.
On April 1st, I got a phone call at my studio, and the caller identified himself as Ron Engel. And he said, Mr. Thompson, the Board of Trustees would like to invite you to accept a doctorate at Coastal. I said, now, Ron, I'm looking at the calendar, and it's April 1st.
Yeah.
I said, is this April Fool's? I said, surely this is April Fool. He said, no, this is serious. And I said, well, it's a humbling acceptance, and thank you very much. And
wow.
By the way, I'll be there.
Absolutely. And you accepted, and you were sitting up on the stage there, and there were some great quotes, and I think that all area papers covered that and had a good shot of you up there with some other folks. And you shared with the folks that day about the other guys that you traveled. Share with the viewers again about traveling down and what happened to them, and now eventually what happened to you.
Oh my!
Wasn't that great?
It's really like a dream. Oh. It's just unbelievable that three little guys hanging around a pool hall in Greenville, talking to the older guys who had just come back from a place called Myrtle Beach. And no one knew where Myrtle Beach was.
Is that right?
But it sounded so great. The beach music, the beautiful gals, the dancing,
right,
and the ocean, and all of those things that go along with what is today Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yeah.
It just kind of blew our minds, so we decided that we walked away and decided that we'd go down to Myrtle Beach and see what that was all about. We counted our money, $2.71.
Oh, come on.
We found the highway, 291 out of Greenville. Went out on the highway, thought we'd be here in an hour. The only people traveling during the early 50s were farmers going a few miles down the road. So it took us 2 days to get here. We survived off of RC colas and moon pies.
I was about to ask, how with 271 could you make it?
We traveled all over the state. Some people thought Myrtle Beach was down around Charleston. And so we wound up down that way, and then finally somebody said, no, I believe it's up toward Wilmington.
Oh, no.
So we finally found our way into a little town called Society Hill. And finally, a benevolent gas station proprietor put us on a bus and sent us on down to Myrtle Beach.
And y'all were how old, Jay?
12, 13.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Well, your parents must have been flipping out.
Well, they were.
Yeah.
Freddie Collins, Carol Campbell, and Jack Thompson.
Oh, come on. It was Fred Collins, Freddie to you then, obviously. Yeah. Carol Campbell, our then later governor.
Yeah, governor. And Freddie became the poker king.
That's right. The video poker magnate statewide and probably well beyond that. Wow.
So the rest of that story is that we ran across the street into the pavilion, and I immediately saw the photo stand and ran over and asked if they needed help. And They said, when can you start? I said, right now if I could get a hamburger. Carol and Freddie ran to the beach.
Right.
Carol was able to get a job with a lifeguard as a beach monkey. And the lifeguard would say, you see that float a mile down the beach? Go get it. It's overdue. Freddie lay down on the beach and went to sleep.
No.
Got severely sunburned. So we've got milkshake cups and went out around the jukebox, and we bummed money from girls to get Freddie a bus ticket, and we sent him back home. A couple days later, Carol's father came and picked him up and took him home.
Right.
My parents sent my older brother to pick me up, and he met a girl. And those beautiful girls that came down just for the week and went home on Sunday, he met a local girl.
Is that right?
She wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, wow, Jack.
So he said, well, I'm not going home. And I said, well, if you're not, I'm not. So anyway, the rest of that story is Freddie went home to become a multimillionaire.
Right.
Carol went home to become the finest governor we've ever had. And thanks to coastal Carolina, I'm a doctor. So the three little fellas finally made their mark.
That's right. Made it all. Well, you've made your mark well. Obviously, Coastal wouldn't have even considered it had you not thoroughly made your mark 10 times over prior to that time. But the excitement back in '59 when you were able to break off and open your own place with Dwight Lamb's help there, and of course you share with viewers a little bit about what that was like, those between when you arrived in '59, how you were growing really your business.
Well, working for Dwight Lamb, Dwight Lamb actually became my guardian as well as my brother, Joe Thompson.
Is that right? Right.
Guardian. So that we could work there in the studio. Myrtle Beach in the early 50s had a wonderful photographic studio.
Really?
Called Skips. Mr. Lamb became our guardian provided we would work there after school. And in working there, he immediately sent us both out around town photographing billboards and hotels, motels. A lot of the motels, the only way they could advertise back in the early 50s was by postcards.
Is that right? Huh.
And brochures.
Right.
And then, of course, everybody had to have a picture made if they were going to market a restaurant or a guest house.
Right, right.
So we began to build an inventory of just about every business, everything that was in business had to have photographs. And at the same time, everyone that lived in Myrtle Beach that had to have a photograph came to Skips.
Wow.
We were the only photographic entity in Horry County.
In the whole county, Jack?
In the county.
Wow.
And in doing so, we did the annuals for Socastee, Conway, Wampee, Myrtle Beach.
For all the schools?
All the schools during the 50s. And then again, we photographed the Sun Fun festivals, anything of importance or historical. We were there to photograph it.
Praise the
and
Lord.
Maintain a tremendous inventory of all of those negatives. And I recall that Mr. Lamb wouldn't let us go home at night until we wrote up the envelopes for all the negatives.
Oh, come on, Jack.
That
so
we
you were
shot.
Working all the time, yeah.
So when Mr. Lamb passed, his children have bestowed on me the negative inventory of Skip Studios, most of which I created back in the 50s.
Sure.
So I'm the proud custodian of those negatives, as well as the ones that when I opened my own studio in 1959, again, I felt it very necessary to be at every chamber event, every ribbon cutting, groundbreaking, or social in Myrtle Beach. I was there. And I made all the pictures, and I have thanks to Dwight Lamb, taught me how to write up the envelope and put
Wow.
the date, the name, and how to file those negatives.
What a powerful experience, Jack, to think about that and to imagine almost 50 years ago, did you ever imagine that 50 years later you'd still be doing it and you'd be doing as well, if not even better, the magic eye?
No, I did not imagine that. And by starting at such a young age,
Right.
it became second nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was really not a lot of effort. I just sort of cruised right through it because I was, you know, when you're taking photographs, there's never a dull moment.
I guess there's not, because you're constantly looking and looking for that great shot.
And doing something different.
Right.
And there's always a different face, a different location, and we're all challenged to be our best and
Right.
to do our best.
Right.
Someone asked me, what is your best shot? And I said, I haven't shot it yet.
The last one. Oh, I was about to say the last one I just shot, because it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, my best. And
Yeah.
I'm my worst critic
Right.
of the work I do because I'm still looking to do better work.
I love it, Jack. Well, I got to tell viewers it was almost 4 years now when my daughter was about 9 months old that you snapped some great shots of the two of us down at the pavilion at the Sun Fun Festival, which you were
remember
kind
that.
enough and gave me a great deal on that, getting the center shot and then 3 or 4 on the side of it. And it is above the fireplace in my house with a light that's on 24/7, literally, and it has been on for 4 years now on those 5 shots you snapped of her, and they're tremendous shots. I'll never forget that day at the pavilion there. And
When those were magic moments
Yeah.
that were
Sun
unrehearsed.
Fun 03. That's exactly right. Almost 4 years ago this
Yeah.
June. Yeah. Magic moments, not rehearsed. Obviously today is a little rehearsed because we're here. I'm about to hold up Memories of Myrtle Beach, a pictorial history of the Grand Strand through the eyes of Jack Thompson. You were kind enough to do 100 copies you did in leather and sold them. I know you're still selling these at JackThompsonPhotography.com,
Studios.
Jack Thompson Studios, and JackThompsonMyrtleBeach.com. I saw you're selling those online. I think you've got some in area locations all over the place. I'm sure everyone would want to have them, but Memories of Myrtle Beach, beautiful, and I was blessed to get one of those 100 copies. And then, of course, at the same level, we've got a real opportunity. You brought some other great pieces in. I hope we can share with viewers some of those great shots.
Well, I thought your audience might like to see some of these photographs. This is Myrtle Beach, and I must admit that I did not shoot this picture.
Okay.
But it's so revealing of Myrtle Beach in 1944.
Wow.
And you might notice up here is the Methodist Church
Right.
as
right.
a landmark. The center photograph is the Chapin Company. You'll see here.
Right there, yes.
9th Avenue, and again the Methodist Church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a wonderful, sleepy little town Myrtle Beach was.
1944.
1944.
That's fascinating. That is a great shot. That is a great shot. Here's a great shot. I know there's no real order to how we've got those, but a tremendous shot there.
This is a photograph, to me, is Myrtle Beach when the Indians roamed the Grand Strand. This is Myrtle Beach before it was civilized.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful picture, and considering this for the cover of another book that I'm...
Is that right? Another book, Jack.
Another book
Wow.
coming along on the history and beginning of Myrtle Beach.
Is that right? That's tremendous. That's tremendous.
Yet to be announced.
We've got 3 or 4 more shots here, and we want to give folks... and Jack, real quick, for viewers who may need to get off to school now or get out to work, what's a good number? Is there a good number for someone to call, and you've got a website?
Yes, there's a website, JackThompsonMyrtleBeach.com.
Okay, great.
The phone number is 843-626-3194.
3194, and your studio's open whenever you're not out on a gig, I'm
When
sure.
I'm not out doing
Right.
what I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a photograph made about 40 years ago while walking down the Strand, a grandfather and his son, and I I regret so much that I didn't stop and get their
That's
name.
the name, yeah.
Because that young man is probably a doctor, a lawyer, or a TV host that would love to have that photograph.
Oh, yeah, Jack. Well, hopefully maybe someone's seeing it right now. If you can picture the image of that grandfather there with his grandson holding the fishing rod, if you can identify that grandfather there, or want to stop by Jack's studio, take a closer look at that, call the 626-3194 number, 626-3194, and that was here in Myrtle Beach, Jack.
That was taken down by the Ocean Plaza Fishing Pier.
Okay, great, great, great. We've only got about 9 minutes, Jack, so I want to go through a couple more of these. This is a tremendous shot of, if there are any more in particular that really stick out. This is one that we'd interviewed Tom Davis, actually, I believe at Collector's Cafe, his son and Mike Smith's place. And Tom shared with us about his folks. Real quick, share with viewers about this photo.
Yes, Tom Davis. Tom Davis had what we...
Go ahead, yeah.
What we like to think of is the forerunner of the convenience store.
Right,
the forerunner of the 7-Eleven and so forth. And Tom Davis, on the corner of 13th Avenue South, had a store where you could find absolutely anything.
Wow.
And if you went by and Tom was asleep in the hammock, he had a little note saying, "Take what you want and leave the money on the counter."
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Wonderful.
They came down from Florence. That's right. Absolutely. Let's just pick out...
I wanted to show this pavilion picture.
Yes,
here.
okay. And I know last Thursday they were having a sale at the pavilion. A week ago today they were having a sale of some of the great artifacts down there. And of course, please, we'll hold this shot up. Please share with viewers, this is probably one of the most famous shots in the Myrtle Beach area. As you said, you still haven't taken your best photo yet.
1951, the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. And the Myrtle Beach Pavilion was home to thousands of people, runaways, people who worked there, families, grandfathers, grandmothers, children.
Right.
And beauty pageants, Sun Fund festivals, Celebrity Boardwalk, all of those things were home at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion.
Right.
Sad to say that is now passed into history.
Right.
We're looking for great things to come.
Oh, yeah. Even the sandcastle this summer, and hope the sculptors there will have the tallest sandcastle in the world. We're praying that Brad and the folks at the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, and the name of the group, Sandtastic, I believe, can beat Virginia Beach this year. And of course, there are so many other great. That's an example. Is this the one that won it?
This was the
winner last year until Virginia Beach quickly moved on its heels.
Right.
And I think the mayor and Jack Thompson and the chamber and others have challenged us as a community to get together and make it happen again this year and substantially surpass Virginia Beach.
Right.
We're going to do it. And I'm so glad. It looks like has the Burrs and Chapin Company announced whether or not they're going to allow that space to be used? Do you know yet? We may know.
No, they
soon.
are still in serious negotiation with the city as to a lease arrangement to allow some activity to begin on that spot.
Right.
But, we're on the threshold of a new era in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yeah.
We're sort of in a renaissance period of a rebirth of Myrtle, if I might say.
Absolutely.
Myrtle is changing. She's growing up now, and it's going to be an exciting future.
Yes.
What we ask is that people just be patient and let all the plans that are being formulated come to fruition. And I think the public, the tourism industry, and the visiting tourists will be thrilled with what's to come.
Absolutely. We still have a couple of minutes, Jack, and of course there's so many things. We could spend an hour talking virtually about it, almost every one of these pictures. Of course, we'd love to have you back tomorrow, but we've got John Palmer in, formerly of the Today Show and a fascinating talk show host himself, will be with us tomorrow morning. Of course, we need to get you back in. But at the same time, the Myrtle Beach Train Depot, something you worked so diligently to help raise the funds to get it restored. which was a very special thing and has really made a tremendous difference in downtown Myrtle Beach. But real quick, before we talk about that, if a viewer wanted to come by and visit your studio, what's the best way to get there? Where exactly is it located?
It's on Broadway, West Broadway, between 9th and 10th Avenue, situated near City Hall.
Okay, good, good. So if a viewer was coming in and we're traveling down Mr. Joe White Avenue, they would come to the intersection, I guess, of Oak Street, and or would they want to keep coming closer to the beach towards Mammy's Kitchen?
Oak Street. If they would find their way to City Hall,
okay,
I'm just a few doors down from
Great.
City Hall.
Good, very easy to find. I'm sure folks at City Hall could probably tell them if they're lost to where Jack Thompson Studios are located. The Myrtle Beach Train Depot, Jack, that's something that you put a lot of time into, and there's a tremendous story there. We've got a couple of minutes. Can you share with viewers about helping make sure that became a lasting memory for many today?
Well, with all the things that are disappearing in Myrtle Beach and along the Grand Strand, we're very proud that the depot has been saved. And I might mention that one of the classic examples of preserving history there is our Walk of History.
Aha.
We have this wonderful brick walk that goes around the property at the depot, and we are selling bricks and pavers with people's names.
Great.
And family names, corporate logos. We'll go down in that walkway and we'll be there in perpetuity.
Till the Lord comes. I love it, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. What's the cost of that? And those dollars would then go to help keep the Myrtle Beach Train Depot strong.
They absolutely go to pay the power bill.
That's good. That's
and,
good.
The bricks are $50.
Okay, great.
And the paver, 12 by 12 paver for family names and corporate logos, is $125.
Is that all, Jack? $125 for a 12 by 12. That's fantastic.
Now, let me say that $125 is for family names,
right?
But the corporate logo is only $500.
Okay, $500 for the corporate logo. Okay, great. Sure, but even that is a great opportunity to get, as you said, that corporate logo out in perpetuity.
Absolutely.
And you've had some folks take you up on that.
Oh yes, I think we're about three-quarters full.
Is that right? Of the corporate logos, or of all of it?
Of all of it.
Tremendous.
The Walk of History is about three-quarters filled.
So folks better call. Is there a good phone number to call? Would they be calling your studio, the 626-3194, or is that a City Hall number?
They can call my studio or call City Hall, and they'll be happy to take the order right there.
That is tremendous. So the train depot is controlled by the city. Is there, and the city, I guess, helps keep it going and keep it strong?
As our mandate specified when the All Aboard Committee turned it back over to the city, it became a city operation. Of course, it was always a city property.
Sure.
It's managed now by the city's Leisure Services Department.
Great, great.
And I might say that the calendar is jammed up. It's full.
Oh, yeah.
Very few dates are available, especially for the weekends. I think the weekends are pretty well booked for concerts, parties, anniversaries, and meetings. And I know a lot of meetings are taking place there throughout the state.
That is tremendous, Jack. Is it readily accessible? I mean, is it something that folks can go by on a regular basis if a meeting's not going on and check it out?
Unfortunately, it's not open on a hourly basis right now.
Right.
The All Aboard Committee, a number of us are still working to complete the Gallery of History in the lobby of the depot, and that will be artifacts, memorabilia pertaining to the history of the depot. We do plan to cut another little ribbon sometime, hopefully in the fall, to reopen the Gallery of History at the depot.
Jack, I got to ask, less than a minute, if you hadn't become a professional photographer, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd be a lawyer.
I love it. You heard him say it. Jack Thompson, professional photographer, would have been a lawyer. Stay tuned to more coming up next. You know, we ran out of time. We didn't get to talk to Jack about his tremendous service as vice chair of the Board of Trustees for the Horry County Museum. We also didn't get to talk about and look at those tremendous photos that Jack took in 1974 of the historic demolition of the Ocean Forest Hotel but you can see them. You can call them at 626-3194 or find it in area locations at Memories of Myrtle Beach. Tremendous book that Jack put out a couple of years ago. He was kind enough to sell 100 copies with beautiful leather binding, but also still has a number of copies available. Call him at 626-3194. Go online to jackthompsonmyrtlebeach.com. You can also visit any area search engine or worldwide search engine and check out Jack Thompson Photography. There's a lot of great information online there. Again, jackthompsonmyrtlebeach.com or 843-626-3194, right there on 915 Broadway. Visit him or give him a call.